Welcome to Scotch Hour. This is Noah.
And this is Jesse.
And today we have a special guest.
Brian. Nice to be here, guys. Hi.
How are you doing today?
I'm doing great.
Well, that's good.
Pretty nervous.
Pretty nervous?
Yeah.
There's no need to be nervous.
Yeah, don't worry. You'll forget about that after your second glass.
So for those of you guys who don't know, Brian's popping his cherry today.
Yeah. First podcast.
First podcast. Yeah.
Ever.
Family show. Sorry, I already screwed that up.
I mean, you never know.
You never know. All right. So how was your week?
I had a great week. Very productive at work. Good with my kids. My poor little Mila fractured her finger. So I'm just wishing the best for her, hoping that all turns out okay. Never fun breaking a bone.
Yeah, I would not enjoy that. I never broke a bone.
How was your week?
My week, it was, it was a pretty relaxful week until like the last day. Found out I had a class I needed to teach this upcoming week. And then today I found out it's going to be a mixture of a class. So it's going to be a bit of a challenge. And Brian, since you're our special guest, did you have a good week or what? What's
I had a great week. Yeah, started off, I guess, kind of going into last Friday. Got to hang out with a neighbor at his outdoor fire pit, enjoy some scotch there.
Ooh, what kind of scotch did you have?
I have no idea.
You have no idea?
Really good. No.
Oh, okay.
I think it was a little bit pricey, but it was good. And
So,
working a lot on the yard. Got to go and get some plants, put them in the ground. Aaron does a great job with the garden. Looks wonderful.
Nice.
Did some building, some projects for her also.
Cool.
Yeah.
The honeydews?
Yeah, but it's good stuff. I enjoy doing the projects. It came out nice. I'll bring photos next time.
Okay, great. We want to see those photos.
Sure.
Oh, yeah. So Noah mentioned he never broke a bone. How about yourself?
I have only broken this finger. Walking down the stairs.
Not this finger?
Not that finger, this
ring
finger.
Man.
Yep, walking down the stairs, it got caught in the little coil at the bottom, and
Ooh, ouch.
yeah, I think that's it.
Yeah, ligaments though. That's a different story.
A lot of torn ligaments all over the place. I got one good knee, one good ankle, and that's it.
Yeah, I have well, actually, no, I did break a bone. I forgot about this earlier.
We're not talking about that one.
No. I broke a little tiny bone in my foot right before COVID hit and all that stuff. So
I remember this.
Ball?
Wait, this was from part of your accident, was it not?
No, it wasn't from my accident. I was at work and some guy ran into me. We weren't like paying attention or whatever, and I ended up twisting and somehow like the ligament pulled out like one of those little teeny tiny bones. So yeah, I did break a bone. Oddly enough, I forgot about that. But I dislocated shoulder, my left one, ACL, MCL tear.
Which one? Right knee?
Right knee. So left shoulder, right knee.
Left shoulder, right knee for myself.
Oh, damn.
Yeah, can't even put my arms back behind my head. I'll pop out of place.
Yeah, this one I can't do. This one I'm fine. I can do that.
Yeah.
This one, if I go too far, I start going,
Yeah.
I was doing yoga once, and I felt to go slip in out real quick. Nope.
I can't do yoga. Yoga requires like deep breathing, and I tend to like make myself claustrophobic. And
Yoga's a blast. The best yoga I ever did was goat yoga with my kids.
You really did the yoga with a goat.
Yeah, goat yoga.
The smelly goats just walk all over you.
Yeah, they just walk all over you. Little baby goats, they're adorable.
Why exactly did they decide to do like goat? Like why not like python snake yoga or?
This had to be your daughter's idea or something.
It might have been. But it was a blast. These little goats, they walk all over you, something to do. And once in a while, they shoot some Skittles out. Thankfully, not on myself or my littles.
Is it like a goat yoga studio, or do you just like crouch down in a farm field?
Backyard, in a farm field, basically, up there by Colorado Mills Mall. It was a blast.
I never done goat yoga. Hot yoga. It was like the room was like 110 degrees.
That sounds miserable.
It was great.
Not only could I not breathe well, I'd be
sweating. Yeah, you come out of there drenched. But there's a lot of hot women though. Yoga pants, man. Lululemons.
Cannot deny yoga pants. Those, yeah.
Lululemons. Did you ever see that movie Chips?
Yes. Yes. I don't remember that part though.
You don't remember Michael Pena and his obsession with women in leggings and how he's like all into like Lululemons?
Yes, I do remember that.
Yeah.
I like him. He's funny.
Yeah, he is.
He's good. I just saw him in another movie too, recently.
Did you see him in Fantasy Island?
Yes, I saw him in that, but there's oh gosh, it is a great movie with the guy from Workaholics, Adam.
Oh, is he the guy who's also in that singing movie?
Yes, he's in the singing movie. There's a movie with him in it, and Michael Pena is his boss, and he works as on a computer. He does he tries to get hits.
He's like he's in love with his phone.
Yes, that's the movie. I forget what it's called. That's a great movie.
That movie is
and
hilarious.
He's really good at it. Pena
is.
is really good.
Yeah, he is.
Goat yoga.
Oh, that is Goat Yoga. You have to send that picture so we can
I
tell
gotta
them.
find the name of that
Send some
movie now.
pictures. Goat yoga.
That
It
actually
was,
does look
dude, that
fun.
was a
I like
blast.
doing different new things. I think
It's
that'd
Rocky
be a cool
Mountain Goat
idea.
yoga, and it was absolutely a blast. They climb all over
Well,
you.
if you ever want to do it, I do own 2 yoga mats.
All right, they supply them there, and I don't know you want these goats dropping any.
Yeah,
kibbles and
probably
bits for
don't.
you.
I probably don't want I probably wouldn't want goats dropping. Well, one of my mats I wouldn't care, but my good mat I wouldn't want them to.
We had yoga mats because we had to bring our dogs to be trained at Petco. And it's all slippery on the floor, so you had to bring your own yoga mats. And our dogs actually broke through the door for the training session and ran outside, and we were told by our trainers that we probably need to medicate our dogs the next time we bring them in.
That's cool.
So it was
Nice.
not a good experience, and that's my story about yoga
Give 'em
mats.
some
And we still
medicine.
have them because we didn't go back a couple times.
I was just gonna say some, 4 or 5 Sudafeds and bring them back.
That's really what they recommended, and we were like,
Your
'cause
dogs.
yeah,
Sudafed's a
he's
stimulant.
absolutely neurotic.
Which one? With like both of them, or?
Freckles is neurotic, and Sammy just followed him, so he just kind of did whatever.
I mean, because
Freckles
they're
did.
like the nicest dogs ever.
But Freckles is a tank, and he literally
Yeah.
just bulldozed his way out of the little
Little pen.
and right out the doors, and we had to go run in the parking lot and get them. And that was when we were provided the expert opinion of medication
Medication.
for said dogs. Yeah.
All right, so we've been going on about like yoga mats and stuff here, and Michael Pena and Lululemon's.
The movie is Jexi.
Oh,
By the way,
Jexi.
strongly recommend that movie. It
Jexi is
phenomenal.
hilarious.
It is hilarious.
I
You
love how
will
she
laugh
talks
so
back to
hard.
him and insults
Yes.
him all the time.
And yes,
You little puss.
he does the picture, the pictures of the genitalia that he sends
Yeah.
and stuff. Yeah,
Like plug me, unplug me, plug me, unplug me,
Yes.
plug me, unplug me.
it needs to. You need to put that on your list. It's
I don't know.
It is
I
a
think,
must see.
If I want to do that, I'll just go straight to the porn.
No, if you've had you like Will Ferrell, so
Yes,
the
I love
highbrow
Will Ferrell.
highbrow humor of Will Ferrell, you will love this movie.
Yeah, I think you'll you'll definitely love this
All
movie.
right.
All right, before
Jexi, we're gonna write this down.
So Jexi, great movie.
Movies to watch.
Brian, I know you listen to all of our podcasts.
Absolutely, big fan.
He's
you.
he's going to go there.
What I'm going to ask you is one of our smarter challenges. We had the your 5 characteristics or your 5 things about yourself that
Yeah,
Where are you going to sell yourself?
sell
yeah,
myself.
Sell yourself, yeah.
All right.
Just so the other listeners know who you are and get an idea.
Okay, so starts with family,
Okay.
dad,
Okay.
husband,
Okay.
math, and sports. Those would be the 5 things that pretty much sum me up in a nutshell.
In a nutshell. Okay.
Yeah.
Awesome.
And family, friends,
Okay.
friends who are pretty much family.
Okay. Good. So for those who don't know who Brian is as well, him and I have known each other since 2nd grade.
2nd grade.
yeah.
First friend I ever made at Thompson Elementary.
Exactly. Yeah.
Still
That was
remember it.
that's those are some crazy stories from way back then.
Yes.
And for those of you who did listen to our Mother's Day podcast, this is Brian, and his mom is Kathy. That's the one I mentioned in there.
Yes.
Who gave us brains to hold in our hands when we visited.
That she
her at
did.
work.
That she did. And that's where we learned about our polar opposite personalities when I turned around and flung it on the ground, grossed out, and you turned around and stared at it and giggled and thought, that's pretty cool.
Oh,
Cow brains.
right.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
So you said something that caught my ear, if you will. You made a friend. Your first friend that you made was Noah.
Yeah.
Do you make your bed every day?
Do I make my bed every day? I absolutely do.
Do you? Okay. I set my bed every day. How do you make your bed every day?
Set your bed.
Yeah, see, because you don't actually make the bed because you have to put the springs in and all that stuff. He's like very particular.
Potato.
So do you set your bed or do you make it?
I don't build it. I'm not a
Jesse,
fabricator.
Do you make money or do you earn it?
I earn it.
There you go.
Got it.
Go ahead, hit the button, man. Hit the button.
I'm not sure which one.
Pick one. There you go. So when you use the terminology, do you make a bed or you set a bed?
I use the terminology "make a bed."
Well, it's very common.
It's kind of common language.
For 30 years, Noah's had to listen to me talk about how no, you don't make a bed because you're not grabbing a hammer and a saw and cutting.
Well, then you could go. I mean, you could say, do you go to the bathroom? There's no bath in it. Are you taking a bath? Do you call it facilities, lavatory, toilet?
Toilet.
What do you say? I'm going to the
restroom.
Are you taking a rest there?
Yeah, absolutely.
Are you taking a rest or are you leaving a rest?
I am relaxing something. I am taking a rest.
And you're leaving something too.
Yes. Presents for everyone.
Yeah.
I haven't known Brian for a fraction of the time that Noah has, but all of my experiences with Brian have been fantastic. I think the 5 things you mentioned that you would sell yourself and want to be known for, family and friend guy, a dad, a husband, math, and of course sports are absolutely everything I've ever known that are things you enjoy. So that's
pretty much me in a nutshell.
Good definition. That's a good brand image, if you will. That's
your brand. What's your brand?
That's my brand. That would be my brand.
Yeah.
That would be the lettering above the store. You come into my store, that's what you're going to get.
That's right.
There you go.
So I think that's a great brand. So have always had great experiences with you. I'm happy to have you on the show. Great to spend some more time with you. Truly, welcome.
Well, thank you, and it's nice to be here. And I think we are all kind of like adopted members of Noah's family.
That's so true.
That's what I've always known about Jesse because I was Noah's elementary school friend into middle school. He left for a while. Met Jesse through high school, and then we knew of each other, but never met each other until Noah's mom's wedding, and that's when
you guys didn't meet in college.
We met up at UNC.
Did we meet up at UNC?
Yeah.
Did we? Okay.
You were too busy chasing something.
I
can't remember
was.
What her name
there
was,
was
but I remember saying, "Hi, nice to meet you." No, okay,
I
bye.
do remember that. I was chasing my papers that fell out of my folders. I was on my way to the library.
It was windy that day.
It was windy. Yep. Yeah.
All right.
And I just barely glanced at you because I was in hot pursuit. That makes a lot of sense now.
All right.
You can't lose those papers on the first day of school.
No. Okay, so before we get too far off track and keep going down this. Yes, that's what I was about to say. What vodka?
What scotch are we drinking?
Yeah, what scotch is on the docket tonight?
All right, this is to commemorate.
I'm excited. It looks like an awesome looking bottle.
Check
box.
out.
I keep saying
box.
bottle, but it's a box.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. You pegged it from the box right away.
Man.
The bottle, by the way.
Oh, the bottle.
Are we supposed to pretend like we haven't seen it yet?
No.
We sneak a peek every time.
It's a pretty bottle.
So this is the Glenlivet Enigma. So Noah, you did find out some facts for us.
Yeah, so this is the 4th bottle in the mystery series. So we have the first bottle that was called Alpha, came out I believe in 2013. Then after that was Cipher, and then the 3rd bottle is Code, and then we have Enigma.
Yes. So, of course, as has been our tradition with every episode, it is a single malt scotch. Noah mentioned 2019, and it is that mysterious base that we're supposed to find out about it. The one thing we do know that we have been able to find out, really, the only thing is that it was aged in ex-American casks and then finished in ex-cognac casks, and I do love a great cognac.
American casks and cognac casks.
Yes.
All right, good.
All right.
Nice. And it's also from, just for those who are keeping score, it is from Speyside, right?
Yes, it is.
And which is also the Highlands.
Yes.
But, yeah.
Here we are. All right, so, Brian, You prefer ice in your Scotch?
1 cube would be nice.
One
thank
cube.
you.
One
That's-
cube. Hey, and by the way, they're Darth Vader.
That's
ice
right.
cubes.
I
Darth Vader,
love
ice
Darth
cubes, man.
Vader.
That's all
Big
we do.
fan. Big fan.
All
right.
I may have to try and track down like a stormtrooper shaped cube. 'cause
I don't know if
those
it
are
fit in the
my-
glass.
right
Those
there.
are my personal favorite. That is a
Dude,
stormtrooper
yeah,
one?
so this will be
Oh,
Noah's.
that's Noah's then. I
You're
will
the guest of
definitely
honor, so
take
we're
the
gonna start with the
stormtrooper one.
stormtrooper.
Are you gonna make it into the glass? Because we know they can't
Dude,
hit the
I know,
outside of
right?
the barn.
All right,
You know,
here we
it's
go.
sad that they are like my favorite Star Wars character, but they are just so embarrassingly bad at everything. Like,
Yeah.
what makes a stormtrooper? I mean, they're the worst troopers.
Well, as he's pointing at, and we're talking about Star Wars. Did you like the Mandalorian?
Oh, yeah.
Love The Mandalorian.
Okay.
Absolutely love it. Absolutely love it. In fact, it is on my wall of Star Wars figures. That is not, a real impressive collection to say the least. They're not worth much money, but one of my sons did get me a Mandalorian action figure.
Ooh,
And I've hung it right
cool.
above the Mandalorian poster that I have
Nice.
of him walking through the desert. Very excited about upcoming
Season 3.
Mandalorian episodes.
Yes.
So are
But
you?
more excited,
How about the Book of Boba?
not even that, Kenobi.
Oh yeah,
I'm
Kenobi.
super, because you know who I think is going to make an appearance in that?
Luke?
Darth Maul.
Darth Maul might because
I feel like I watched some kind of teaser that made me think that could be the
that's
case.
quite possible. All right.
All right, Brian.
Cheers, Jesse.
Cheers, Noah.
Cheers, Noah.
All right. Let's take a.
We didn't talk much about the color. How would you guys rank this color compared to some of your other stuff?
I think it's like a honey gold.
Definitely a honey crystal clear gold.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's amazing what the ice cube does to the color compared to Jesse's. Jesse's looks much deeper.
Oh yeah, Jesse's does
Yeah.
look cheaper.
Maybe that's because I poured myself twice as much.
Could be. Definitely get the apple smell.
I'm getting a scent of citrus. I just don't know which one at the moment.
Until you said apple, but again, it's the suggestion. So now it's going to be apple, and I do smell it.
Maybe we shouldn't say anything and let Brian say it first.
Bingo, bingo.
Well, yeah.
Oh, wow. It's a little hot, but in a good way.
Whoa.
That's pretty hot.
it'll smooth out. Can you just put just a tad bit? I want to try it without the cube.
You got it.
Just a wee bit. Not a wee beastie, but just a wee bit.
Yeah, nobody wants
Yeah, Wee Beastie did not go well.
No, wee beastie was terrible. Which is sad.
Well, I like the aftertaste. I really like the finish. It's got a good, kind of a nice lingering finish.
Yes, long finish. I agree.
Yeah, definitely a long finish.
That cube makes a huge change in the taste.
Good or bad? Intermediate?
I'll have to sample that myself.
I think they're good both ways. I like them.
All right, here it is neat.
It does, when the neat, it brings out different flavors and it's definitely a little bit tighter.
Definitely, though, I mean, it is, I think you guys call it kind of hot, a little bit.
Yeah, you feel that little bit of burn.
Down, yeah.
But I bet you as it sits a little bit, because like we just open it up, so sometimes it takes a little bit of you need a little bit of the oxygen to get to it.
Super smooth to me. Even with that little bit of heat right off the bat. Super creamy. It is very reminiscent of a fabulous cognac that I love to drink with a great creme brulee.
I'm not a big cognac fan, but I do get the creamy finish with kind of like almost a hint of creme brulee there at the end. I can get that off the neat.
Definitely different flavor
Yeah,
from the cube to the other.
yeah. The cube just kind of like it opens up a different. I think it opens more the fruit.
Yeah.
I would agree.
So this bottle we did pick up at Total Wine, which has been our current go-to.
Yeah, current go-to place. Still, we probably should talk to management over there and see if they can't
Yeah.
hook us up with a discount.
This one, right around the $105 before tax, $105 mark at Total Wine. At other places we've been, we've seen it as high as $130.
I didn't notice that at the other places.
They had it at Bevy's.
Oh, did they?
Yeah, and I noticed the price because I've been keeping my eye on this sexy bottle for quite some time.
It is a sexy bottle.
It is a sexy
It's a good-looking bottle.
Reminds me of, wait, let's use your terminology. What is this bottle reminiscent of? Do you remember the terminology?
I remember yours.
Yeah, mine is Scrabble.
Yours was Scrabble. But Noah, you were kind of reading
It was
over.
so much more eloquent. It was beautifully phrased.
I don't even remember what I said.
It had something to do with cipher codes. I mean, it was all the
Yeah.
terminology from the previous.
I just remember listening to it. I'm like, that's true, but this is Scrabble.
I have never actually ventured into the Scotch aisle and seen some like all the locked cabinets with all
This is your first. Was that your first time going over there?
Yeah,
to Total?
yeah. Well, not the first time. I've been in that building before as Toys R Us.
Okay.
Yeah, that's right. Different
kids.
age bracket for the toys.
Yeah, different.
Yeah, so you know,
different
turn that.
gifts. Gifts for the kids.
Hey guys,
gifts for
turn
the
that
adults.
frown upside down.
Hey,
That's right.
amen to that. Well,
Adult
speaking of
style.
frowns, we're probably going to have to move into
Oh yeah.
our conversation about how we earned this Scotch tonight.
Oh,
What we
dinner?
had to endure to get
Oh.
here.
Oh, man.
You know, it's
this
starting
Scotch
to-
is fabulous.
it's starting to settle down now. I'm not getting the heat from it anymore.
I agree. But more heat here
Yes.
than here. Obviously, ice cube, ice heat would nullify that. I didn't say science as my selling point. It was math.
That's right. That is true.
Okay, so on a mathematical scale, neat versus cube, how would you mathematically rate them?
1.61, probably the perfect ratio. You know, a little bit of this, a little bit of that. Kind
Not a
of
3.14.
fractals, coil.
Fractals?
You know, yeah.
You know,
Hobby.
talking about fractals, that brings up XRP, but we won't go there.
Yeah. Yeah, we can get that one out of the way. How's your investment
Yeah, okay,
doing?
so we all know, we obviously have gone off the rails, but so when it comes to the investments, I went all crypto, and this past week has been a bloodbath in the cryptocurrency world. So, yes, Jesse, you beat me.
Currently on the leaderboard.
You
had
not
a
only did
role
you win this
reversal.
week, right? Not only did you win this week, but you are probably ahead for the 2 weeks total.
All right. Well, it was definitely an interesting week for both. So currently leaderboard for those of you out here after week 1, Noah here, Jesse here. Now the roles have currently for week 2 reversed. Jesse here and Noah here. We're not even going to spend the time doing
Significantly,
the
as I
math.
understand.
Yeah, it's significantly lower. It's not like I was like barely ahead of you, and now I'm like way behind you.
Hey, but when it turns around, that's the name of this game. It's not about placing a $5 bet at the roulette table. It's not about playing a hand of blackjack. It's about a long-term investment and where it's going to land at 3 months, at 6 months, at 12 months.
I'm pretty sure though crypto will make a rebound.
I really hope so.
Well, in listening to you guys earlier, Scotch Hours, I actually was pretty impressed with kind of the logic behind Jesse's purchases of his stocks, especially the Ulta. I thought that made a lot of sense. As it turns out, that has not been the case yet.
Not yet.
Right?
Not
But
with
I thought
Ulta.
that was the lie. I was like, man, maybe I need to go buy some of that Ulta stock. That makes sense to me.
But
Well, you know, think about it now. Like now, people are starting to see people without masks on.
Yeah.
So maybe there's going to be a bump.
The
in
logic
lipstick.
was sound. It was very sound.
I was searching for
If
the
you were
perfect
my
shade of
investment broker, I'd be like, hey, that makes sense. Face mask, makeup, I'm with you. Put it all there. So glad I didn't though. Yeah. It's the long play, right? It's the long play.
the long
Got
play.
time.
That's
Got
true.
time. Yep.
So what is it? This is going to go on for a year? Is that when?
I think and every week we're allowed to make one change. So we can actually change from like wherever our investment is to something else, but we have to be aware of like any costs that might incur.
So you
Trading
can sell your Ulta and put it into Ferrari.
Yeah, which Race is doing primo.
Ferrari?
Yeah,
Ferrari's doing great.
The ticker symbol is race, and he's happy about that.
Oh,
Okay.
yeah.
Oh, I got you.
Oh, yeah.
I had heard, I think it's Lamborghini
Yes.
Another, sports cars from when we were kids that we all, wanted to have and drew pictures of, and because those are the exotic cars we knew names of.
Absolutely.
I feel like I heard something about them just fully going into like putting all their kind of studies towards electric cars.
That is absolutely
that true?
correct.
Yeah.
And Ferrari is not making the same commitment that almost every other car manufacturer is, saying they are putting all of their focus on electric. They are still going to have a gas-based engineering and study. But yeah, Lamborghini, Mercedes, most of the car manufacturers out there have committed to an electric car-based future.
Speaking of electric cars, have either of you ever driven a Tesla?
Not a Tesla, but I have driven electric cars, and I will admit they're fun.
I personally am against electric cars.
Okay.
Well, so like I get like why people want it. They think it's great for the environment and stuff, but what they don't realize that's the horror one. But it's probably appropriate
A little
here.
bit of a theory, yeah. Conspiracy theory.
Yeah, but this is not really a conspiracy theory, but like the mining it takes to get all the cobalt that you need for those electric cars is a lot more damaging to the earth than gasoline is.
I've heard things like that, and I mean, yeah,
it's a bigger
carbon
and
then not only that, then they have to dispose of the batteries, and in France right now they have like a graveyard of like cars that they don't use anymore because they don't know how to get rid of the batteries safely.
Well, they're kind of like solar panels, old solar panels. Mm-hmm. What do you do with this technology when it's gone and outdated?
Yeah. So, but right now people are like, "Oh, I'm saving the earth." Yeah, you're doing more damage. You just don't see it right now.
I hear them. I hear the cars and they sound different. And I've heard the pickup on those things is like
acceleration.
The acceleration is incredible. It's like driving the old go-karts, the battery powered ones.
It is. Now consider this investment. You mentioned, and you are absolutely correct, your home being a securely sound investment. What is a 1,000 horsepower gas-powered engine going to be worth 10 years from now when everything else is electric? Just throwing it out there. Possible future investments. Yeah. Buy a Ferrari, right?
Sell the house.
Yes.
Buy the Ferrari. The kids can probably... They can camp out. There's all sorts of homeless encampments right now.
That's right.
They don't need a roof over there.
Yeah, let's not go there.
Let's not go there. Okay, we don't need to go.
Yeah,
non-political podcast.
All right.
Yeah, we try to keep it non-political. So yeah, let's go revisit the Scotch again.
Great color, nice golden, clear color. A nice strong start. Good taste, citrus. I'm not tasting any apple. You mentioned apple. Someone mentioned apple. I'm not tasting any apple.
I didn't say I tasted apple. I said I smelled it.
Okay.
I got it on the bouquet.
I'm getting the kind of the dry cinnamony.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
I'll agree with that.
Aftertaste.
Cinnamon and cream.
Yeah.
I do believe it's very creamy on the tongue or on the palate.
Super smooth.
Yeah.
This is Rick James smooth.
Rick James.
The only Rick James song I know. Well, does he sing Brick House?
I don't know what he sings.
I know he's in Eddie Murphy's song, My Girl Wants to Potty All the Time.
That's right.
Do you remember Eddie Murphy's?
Right. I don't remember that.
Oh, yeah. Eddie Murphy made a whole list of movie songs based on real songs.
No, that was his real. It was Party All the Time, but it sounded like potty.
Yeah, that's the one.
And it was Rick James. It was his like legitimate attempt to be a R&B singer.
Oh.
Now, he's actually got a pretty good voice. I mean, there's a pretty synthesized, too.
Rick James?
Eddie Murphy.
He's dead, man.
Yeah, Rick
Cocaine was a powerful drug.
Did he have life insurance?
Probably.
Hey, remember, I do work in the life insurance industry.
That's right.
So. And for John Waller, if you're out there, this Scotch here, smooth. No, it's actually really smooth.
Who's John Waller?
He's when I was out in Philly, I was doing training out there, and he was my co-trainer.
Oh, okay.
And we, him, myself, and then another guy named Anthony. We got Johnny Walker Blue Label on my birthday, and both John and I, we both drank it. It was pretty good. And then Anthony, he's actually the one that went smooth. Because I think what happened is kind of like what we saw here. is sometimes with these scotches, when you first open them up, they're kind of like, they're hot.
Yeah.
So you got to like let them mellow out a little bit. And then it's kind of like wine. When you first open up a wine, it's really tight. And then after it's exposed to the oxygen, it oxidizes and then kind of mellows out.
I agree. It has mellowed out.
All right, we avoided it long enough. Let's answer the question. How was dinner?
Dinner. So where did we go? Where did we go for dinner, guys?
View House Centennial.
View House and I'll tell you what, the view is nice.
The view was great.
I am glad that you guys.
Weather was perfect.
Weather was perfect.
It was wonderful.
I'm glad you guys suggested going there. I've never been there before. The view is awesome. Service terrible. So
I cannot even begin to tell you how bad the service was.
So remember last week I talked about like how our waitress came by like every 5 minutes and it kind of bugs me.
Be careful what you wish for.
Yeah, be careful what you wish for because I think we overcorrected. Now we had
Big overcorrection. Big.
So we went from like having someone that came by like every 5 minutes going, "Are you doing okay? You doing okay? You doing okay?" To like crickets. I don't know where the cricket button is. Nope, that one.
Fantasy crickets.
Fantasy
Because it
crickets.
wasn't like a fantasy.
Oh, did you just drop the F-bomb?
What?
You dropped the F-bomb.
You can't say fantasy?
No.
No.
Fantasy. You can say fantasy. Leave it at that.
I must have missed something.
I thought you said something before.
No, he just said
No,
fantasy.
no.
Okay.
Yeah, we literally had to chase him down, practically.
Well,
No,
We
you
sent several-
totally did
He
chase
got
him
up
down.
and
Well,
found
I
him to
did.
correct
I
the
did
check.
chase somebody down because we were overcharged.
Yeah.
We missed out on all kinds of happy
for
hour discounts.
The teacher discount. That's
Teacher
a great
discount?
discount. Yeah.
Yeah, so we missed
$2
out.
for a glass of
Wine?
I mean, it was a barefoot Pinot Grigio, but it
Any
was
other barefoot
good.
wine.
So first of all, we get there, right? And then we sit there, 21 minutes before we even get like the server to come by and say hi to us.
It was 21 minutes.
And
We're outside
outside in the sun.
in the sun, which is
No
nice.
water. No water.
Great
No water.
view.
Great view. No water.
But you can only look at that
No
view
drink.
for so long before you're noticing that the table that sat down after us has their
Only
water.
5 minutes
And
afterwards.
not only did they get their water
They got
before
their
us,
food
they got their
Before we
appetizer.
got our water.
before we got anything.
Yeah, that was that service there is a joke.
It was bad. It was bad.
Here's the thing. I'd say if you've never been there, it's good to go there at least once to check out the view. Make sure you sit up top like you guys recommended.
True. Yeah.
Food was actually tasty.
I loved my food.
I had the fish and chips. It was fantastic.
I had a California burger.
Mahi pineapple tacos were absolutely delicious.
Yeah.
And you know what would have tasted really good with those?
Your beer?
Is a beer.
A beer that didn't show up
It took
until
another 25 minutes to get. At which time you guys had both finished your meals, and I was waiting to eat the rest of my meal so I could enjoy it with my beer that did eventually come. And it was a good beer.
It was a great beer.
It was,
Yeah, but by that time
Picasso.
though, your food was probably cold and not so great at that point. I would think.
it still tasted good. It was
Street
good food.
tacos.
I'm not going to lie. The food, I'm glad I got it. It was really good food. But the service, it kind of...
I would say the service was bad enough to where it almost makes you not want to go back even with the view and the food.
Sincerely. Once I did chase down the manager, literally chase down the
Yeah.
manager to talk to him
Get up
about
out
the
of your seat,
overcharge.
go to the counter.
He was apologetic, and he did make some corrections, which was nice. But
I don't think that was nearly enough.
No, when you're a server, like your job is to kind of provide service
Yeah.
and, take a glance, look around, take a lap, walk around, notice that your table has all empty glasses and no food.
Yeah.
So last week, remember I said I would like the waiter or the waitress to at least walk by, see if I need something, and then not really have to say anything, and then give me another iced tea or another water.
Beverage.
Yeah, when you
Yes.
notice it's about that,
Yeah.
down there.
And this
All
guy
right, I got you, man.
and our waiter when he comes by and he drops off another beer for me, and I didn't even order a beer.
Well, yeah,
That was
because
the
I
best.
asked
That was
the
the guy who dropped off our food, I said, do I order a beer through you? Or he said, no, I'll get your server. So the server came back, and after Jesse did point out initially that, hey, we've been here for about 25 minutes.
I let
We're
him know.
thirsty. Can we have some water?
Yeah.
Jesse let him know. So when the water got brought back, It was brought back with a slam, and every single cup.
Hey, half of it was still in your glass after
It
he
stayed
slammed
in
it
the
on the
glass,
table.
yeah. And you did point out that he was very particular with which glass he gave you.
Yes,
so there
he
might have been
was very
something to
particular.
that.
Maybe I should.
I think he might have spit in your glass.
Hey,
I think
you know
there's
what?
a chance.
I think
He
so.
might have spit in all of our glasses.
He
I-
might.
we
He
can,
may have.
If I get the vid tomorrow, let me know. I'll let you know.
I get to be. Well,
The View House. Delicious food.
yep.
It was. So food on a scale of 1 to 10, math teacher.
I loved mine. 10. I would go get it. I'd have 3 more tacos right now.
I'd say mine was an 8.
I
was very
would
close.
give it a solid 8.
Yeah.
So I would say like if I was doing like the grading scale, ambiance, especially with the view up top, I give it an A plus.
Yeah. That was
Food,
good.
I give it I give the food probably a A minus. Because I think there's probably room. Maybe it could just be because I just got a burger.
Your burger looked scrumptious.
It was good.
It's a
It was
really
massive,
good
too.
burger.
It was massive. I didn't even finish my burger. But the service, I give it an F.
Absolute F. It had. I mean,
I don't think if I could give it an F minus, I'd give it an F minus.
Now, in not defending
No.
anyone, the one thing I'm going to say is
Nope.
I was watching the server,
Nope.
and maybe it's poor training, but the guy was running around in all the wrong directions in there.
Yeah, there's working hard and working smart, and I don't need. I'm not sure how you classify what he did because it was neither hard or smart.
Okay, so Brian gives him the credit card, right?
No, this is priceless.
So Brian gives him the credit card. You
Was it a
expect
Visa?
you expect him to at least go to the weight the weight area or whatever it is, the weight
The
station,
machine, yeah, the cash,
weight
or the-
station, and like in the
the
swipe
register.
card,
yeah.
and then come back, right? But no, the guy went to go start busting tables
He's busting tables, doing other stuff. Just
on the other side of the restaurant.
So I don't think they had that area compartmentalized well at all for their servers. We had servers bouncing in all different areas, not actually just covering one section.
We were not alone. I did see another group over there that was trying to flag someone down, and the other table that arrived
the wrong
after
order.
us and got their food before us, they did get the wrong order on some stuff. So
So they got their food before us, but it was wrong.
it was
Yeah,
wrong. So
yeah.
you know,
What's better?
So
lose-lose
overall,
scenario.
if you don't care about the service, I say go check out the view. Otherwise, if you do value service, I would say skip the view.
Yeah, I would say price wise, it was all right. Wasn't super expensive.
not too
for a happy
bad.
hour.
I mean, we were there for the happy hour.
But if I'm gonna spend money and go somewhere for a drink, I'd go pick up a 6-pack at a gas station and drink it at a park before I would go there for a beer with a couple of buddies.
Yeah, because I mean, you can have service that is that bad that it ruins the whole
And
the
we
rest
could
of the
each drink
ambiance.
2
on the
beers
thing.
in
Yeah.
the 25 minutes we waited to get our water.
Now those beers, though, that is we both enjoyed it. It was the like Que Pasa lager or something,
Yes, it
Mexican
was
lager,
fantastic.
and that is a View House brew.
Oh, so
So-
special to them.
If they could figure out their service scenario situation, I mean, absolutely, it'd be a great place to go. But when you have services that bad, it just it leaves a sour taste in your mouth about the whole place.
So maybe sitting at the bar would have fixed the problem.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah, because
But then you don't really get the
right there.
view as well.
You kind of could, though, from the side. I mean, part of me was almost wishing we were just inside the doors, out of the sun a little bit. But
Well, that probably would have been better with no water.
yeah,
It's like a plant. You put it inside or outside if you know you're not going to water it.
I mean, if you're not going to get any water or drinks, inside's definitely the better spot.
absolutely. Yeah, if you don't want to, dehydrate yourself in the hot baking sun.
This is so creamy of a scotch. I don't know that I've ever had a scotch anywhere near as creamy as this.
That's that American oak, I would imagine. Or the
Is
American
it?
oak cask.
Or is it the cognac cask?
I don't really
I don't know. I honestly don't know. I'm asking.
I don't think
part of the
cognac-
mystery, right? They
Yeah.
announced it. This is their mystery.
Typically,
collection.
well, like American oak will give you like that vanilla and cream. Think of Kendall Jackson.
So you mentioned vanilla, and I agree with that, but I'm not tasting a ton of vanilla.
I'm not
a ton
getting
of
vanilla
cream.
out of it, though.
Well, I tell you what, here's what you got to try. Because as soon as you said creamy, I took a sip and I had creamy. As soon as you said vanilla, I tasted vanilla. So try me. Throw something out there that you could just say it might taste like motor oil. Give me a second.
Wait. Brake dust.
I do get a hint of motor oil. So clearly I need a little bit more experience with my scotches so my palate can really get some of these.
All right, well,
where my brain is getting all the suggestions.
So when you're ready to start going through the alphabet, let us know. We recommend you start with the Wee Beastie. It can only get better.
That's what I hear. That's what I hear. You know what? Really, we should have ordered some Wee Beastie while at the View House. That would have just been the cherry on top right there. Is what that would have been.
That would have, like, hey, why didn't you think of that before?
Because I didn't expect the service to be that bad. But maybe you set the bar low to begin with. You can only be pleased. Thus, the Wee Beastie, we come in there, start with a shitty.
That's right. Setting a bar.
Sorry about that.
You're good.
16 and under. There's a 16-year-old out there that curses.
The dog do it.
Yeah, there's my 3 sons.
I'm sure they all.
They've heard the S word. Mostly from their mom.
Mostly from Aaron?
Yeah, the tongue on that woman.
That woman, she curses like a sailor. Watch out.
So, talking about first cars. All right, Noah, what was your first car?
76 Super Beetle.
All right, Brian, what was your first car?
My car was a 1964 Volkswagen Bug Beetle.
All right, so you guys definitely set the bar low.
Can we? They're not really cars. They're almost like go-karts. I mean, the engine's in the back. There's no frills, no heat. I mean, kind of heat, but not really.
But I did like it.
I did like it too. I mean, it was pretty cool to have. It was unique. I mean, not a lot of people had them, and had a nice shiny blue paint.
Actually, I prefer those old Beetles versus the newer ones that they came out like in the early 2000s or whatever it was.
Yeah, it's not. If you're gonna get a Beetle, get a real Beetle, not like a refab.
Not the refab.
Collector's cars.
What's that?
They're collector's cars.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I saw one the other day just down in Parker, cruising around, and it brought back memories. I was like, oh, I remember driving back up to UNC and no defrost and using like a tape cassette case trying to scrape the outside as I'm driving down I-25.
Like the first time you went through a drive-thru.
First time I went through a drive, I can't remember that.
Because you were driving your car.
Driving my car, yes. I didn't get to drive my car right away. Had a little problem with the grades. Got a little discipline. Had to wait a little bit to bump those back up. So.
All right.
I didn't necessarily get to drive mine right away either because it had a big, huge hole in the back, on the back floorboard.
Yes, that happened on those. Absolutely.
You mentioned shiny paint. What color was your car?
It was sweet looking. It was metallic blue.
I like metallic blue.
And had tinted windows. Because my mom used to work at 3M, so she knew how to put window tint on. So did a great job tinting the windows.
Awesome.
And once we bought it, my birthday gift was new like seat covers, like really nice seat covers.
Tell me you were a leopard.
And all it was like a nice like gray with dark like a blue stripe.
All right,
because that's the thing about those Beetles is you could fix them up cheap. It wasn't too expensive. In fact, after I crashed it and ruined the front end, I had to get 2 new fenders and a new hood. So that was kind of expensive. But we've been talking about my first car. What about yours, Jesse?
Well, first of all, Noah, what color was your first car?
Oh, there you go.
I don't even remember what color that Beetle was. Right. I think it was multicolored, to tell you the truth.
All right. Well, my first car was medium quasar blue metallic. I bought it and drove it literally off the showroom floor, Bird on Broadway, 1994, brand new.
I remember that.
Yeah, it had like 9 miles on it. Now, the gentleman, Mike, is the guy who sold it to me, told me, make sure for the first 350, 500 miles, you don't go over 60 miles per hour. That car was so powerful, I was on Broadway, barely out of the parking lot going 80, and I don't think I ever slowed down.
I think mine was also a quasar blue metallic, now that you mention it.
If I remember correctly, didn't you like spray paint your license plates blue?
Not only did I spray paint the front license plate blue, but I got rid of all those other Colorado colors. So it was just blue and white to go with the medium quasar blue and extreme white. Yes.
You were able to get away with that?
Oh,
that was legal?
I wouldn't say it's legal.
Yeah, it depends on which city you're in. Because in Denver it's not legal, but I was living in unincorporated Arapahoe County, and in unincorporated Arapahoe County it was legal.
Yeah, it was. He definitely modified his license plate.
How do you spray paint the license plate?
You spray paint anything you want to.
But how do you keep? So I'm imagining you have to have the letters still white.
So, yeah, the letters were still white. It was the blue and white license plates. Covered the letters, covered the center, cut off the top of the plate, cut off the bottom of the plate. Had a plate that was 2 inches shorter, and then painted the top and the bottom so it wasn't all janky looking. Bent it, curved it so it was like the V on the front of the car, and bolted it right in.
You are the first person I have ever met in my entire life that I have heard has modified a license plate.
Yeah, I didn't stop there. I literally modified the engine, the suspension, the brakes, the bodywork, had a ground effects kit.
Don't get me wrong, a lot of people do that, but license plate I've never heard before. That'll be a story that I will always know about Jexi now.
The interior, the exterior, everything. And after spending an extra almost 20 grand modifying that car, I sat there one day, I got pulled over by a cop. And he told me, officer, do not remember your name, thankfully, but you were great. And he literally told me, hey, I'm at the end of my shift. I'm not going to write you a ticket because if I do, you were going so fast, I have to take you to jail. Don't ever let me catch you again. And I'm like, man, here's what I was thinking. Here's literally what I was thinking. I spent 20 grand modifying this Camaro. If I was in a brand new Corvette and just bought it outright, 45 grand versus 20 and 25 grand, would he have caught me? And who knows, but should have spotted a Corvette.
Well, you still have your license today, so you must have made some good choices from then to now.
Yes.
Life choices,
well, then again,
right?
I did drive us to dinner, and I kind of felt like I was pushed to drive. So, Jexi, are you still licensed?
Yeah, no, I'm still very well licensed. I've got my food safety license. I got lots of licenses.
Noah, you also have lots of licenses.
Yeah, I got my life insurance, my health insurance. Yeah, and then my driver's license, which is still Utah.
How's that going?
It's still Utah.
Yeah.
Oh, man. But he hasn't been here that long.
But time's running out. I think there's a time limit coming up here soon.
I think, there's
got like 12 months.
Yeah, as far as my Utah license goes, I have until 2026.
Oh, there you go. So you got no worries.
Yeah.
There's some reason you have to get to Colorado. You told me about
What would
this.
throw a wrench in this is if you were given a car and had to register that car in your name.
Well, luckily, I don't have a car.
There you go.
So this is what I call playing the hand right. You played these cards right.
I guess yes and no, because when I came back to Colorado, I did have to change my licenses for my insurance. So that would technically have my move back date on there.
I knew there was something to that.
Anyhow, let's not try to incriminate myself here.
Hey, let's go back to
let's talk about vampire
great
movies.
Experiences. Oh, vampire movies, even better.
That was one of our topics that we were going to talk about. Or we could talk about.
We didn't even talk about the Smarter Challenge. We haven't even talked about that.
Actually,
there are so many things we haven't talked about.
And we only have
like 15 minutes left.
Okay. So Smarter Challenge. Last week's Smarter Challenge. We got to get that done. You said to read or watch the movie Great Expectation.
Yes, read the book, Charles Dickens, or watch the movie.
So I did watch the movie.
And?
Gwyneth Paltrow was wicked hot in that
movie. No denying that.
She was very, I don't know how to say that. I think manipulative or evil.
Yes.
Yeah.
Almost a sociopath by not birth, but trade.
Yeah, by trade. I would say
yes.
By her stepmother, as it is.
I think in that movie that was her aunt. In that particular one.
Yep.
So I would say this: if you are a high school student or a college student, do not write your book report on this.
Not the movie.
Not the adaptation, but the 1998 adaptation.
Yeah. So that one with Ethan Hawke and Gwyneth Paltrow, it's definitely an adaptation of it. I think it covered the main highlights. I do think it's kind of sad about what happens to in that version. His name is Finn, but in the actual book, it's Pip. He obviously goes from one class level into another class, and I think he I think you see it bothers him too when he had to basically reject his the person who raised him, and he kind of like threw that part of his life away a little bit. I know,
in essence, his stepfather.
Yeah, in essence, his stepfather. But I think when we look at what he did, he helped out a prisoner who later on became his benefactor, changed his life
Big time.
So I think right there, that particular part says, always treat other people well, because you don't know what will happen later on.
I got that too, yeah.
Right? But I think at the same time, it showed kind of like a downside of like, we may want something so bad, but if we do, there's always a cost. And you have to be willing to pay whatever that cost is. Is your cost willing to be giving up loved ones or people you loved as you grew up? Or is it something else? There's going to be a sacrifice that you have to pay to get what you want.
Well, and you brought up a point earlier too about kind of don't forget where you came from. And
Yeah.
he does that for a moment, and he realizes it as he's, asking Joe not so politely to leave it, and Joe kind of takes the hint and leaves the gallery
A little
showing.
bit too late.
Yeah. And he had kind of said some things that sort of lent to. You know, the other thing I noticed that he did? When he was making up his story about who he is and where he was from.
The background?
You know, it's what some people will do to, make their achievements, seem grander. He kind of fabricated the truth about it, and Joe was kind of bringing out the real story, and he wanted him to leave, and Joe took that hint. But I also think Ethan Hawke as Finn, at that point, realized, what am I doing? I am not this person necessarily. I felt that, at least at that time.
So you're the one who brought it up, Jesse. You said it's one of your favorite books.
It is absolutely one of my favorite books.
So why?
Very many reasons. But the biggest one here, as you mentioned with Pip, he essentially helps a stranger who, in the long run, helps him. So one good deed maybe does translate to another. Lots of misgivings in there. What are you willing to give up for what do you want? But you mentioned several episodes ago you love the underdog.
I do.
Pip
Like
is an ultimate underdog. This guy had no chance in life.
Yeah, but I think there's a right way to go about getting to the top and a wrong way. And I'm not exactly sure if his way was exactly the right way.
So not how you would do it.
No.
But I don't know that it's the wrong way.
Obviously what he did in the beginning when he was a young child, that was the right way.
Yep. I agree.
What he did, at least in the movie, where he fabricated his past, that was the wrong way. If you're talking about the book, it would be him turning his back on his stepfather, who is the blacksmith.
Yes.
I think that's the wrong way. But it's obvious, like back then, when you're looking at when Dickens wrote the book, a blacksmith could not hang out with a gentleman. So, there is
Industrial Revolution.
Yeah, so there is some precedence there to where he would have to give it up or look down upon. Like, I think if you watch, if you read the book or if you watch the old version of the movie, he gets to the point where he looks down upon his stepfather as being a blacksmith. Like, he's not a worthy person anymore. And I think he comes across that, and I think that's the wrong way.
I think that is absolutely a terrible trait, Brian. I know you had actually mentioned similar thoughts. For me, a bigger piece is also whether you're a kid, whether you're helping a prisoner or someone else, there are these pieces that do intrinsically tie others together. You and Brian have known each other since you were tots. Basically super young, going to grade school. You and I met later in high school. In different circumstances, didn't see each other for years or decade at one point. And then there are different ties that bind and bring others together. And it's one of those things where when you have such a positive impact, and that impact can literally be, hey, don't know what you did, don't know why you're in prison. What I do see is a trapped animal looking for freedom. Here are a couple of tools you asked for. Good luck. And it ultimately ends up coming back and paying them back. It's no different than a friend in high school or a friend in grade school helping another friend out. And that friend helping that person out can simply be, hey man, we're both in this school. We don't know what the hell is going on. We think we like these girls. Give me some advice, help me out, support me. Give me a few suggestions. You know, I remember when you told me to join Model United Nations, one of the best pieces of advice I ever received from anyone. To this day, I am grateful for that one little tool. And it was a tool, because before that, and not that I was over it quickly, before that I was mortified, terrified, and even in Model United Nations, I was scared every time we had to stand up and give a speech about the country we were representing. But it helped me get so far in life to the point where I was like, hey, I'm going to take speech classes. I'm going to do a lot of things to get over this. And now if I'm asked to stand up and give a speech, whether it be at work or any number of places, I stand up and I think back to my speech teachers and different experiences I've had. And I'm like, this is nothing. Mentally, 3-step frame, opening, closing. What 3 things am I going to talk about? Talk about them in the opening, go into detail, close it up. I've done this 100 times, 1,000 times now. And
maybe you should be doing the opening to the show.
Right? Well, but
it's textbook.
Yeah,
textbook,
no,
just
literally
like
it is. And man, you gave me that gift. You gave me that tool in a way you would never imagine. And part of the reason that was my Smarter Challenge was just this piece of, and at that time I didn't know we were going to be so lucky to have you joining us, Brian. Thank you so much for being here. And I mean that sincerely.
Yes, thank you for joining us.
Yeah.
This is wonderful. I'm having a good time.
But it was this piece of, man, you don't always understand one little piece of advice. And at the time, sometimes we hate to hear it. And a few weeks ago, my boss at work gave me one little piece. And it's one of these things where she wasn't doing it in any way but positive. And it's hard because when you work with someone, especially for years, at least for me, the last thing I want to do is hurt their feelings. But she gave me this one little piece of advice, and I took it, and it's made a huge difference. And it's actually no different than what you did in high school. Hey, you should join Model United Nations. We might go on some trips. It's a lot of fun. Not only did it, that one instance, that one recommendation, that one challenge, if you will, proper challenge, got me into caring about what I look like, how I communicate, all of the things that ultimately get us further in life. And I am forever grateful for you for that. And that was why that was my proper challenge, was because I don't know that you had ever realized you gave me this gift.
I don't even remember suggesting you join United.
No, I do, because I was terrified. I was mortified. And you were like, hey, Sean and I do this. You should join Model United Nations. It's a lot of fun. We get to go represent countries. And I'm like, whoa, man, like, I don't like giving speeches. And you're like, hey, it's great. And I know you want to go to a good college. You should consider it. And I did, and I joined. And I'm sure I gave some of the cruddiest speeches ever when I first started.
Hey, let's just be honest.
Impact.
Mr. Ginsburg never gave us good countries either.
Oh yeah, what was up with Ginsburg giving us the worst country? Although he did give me a choice one when we were at the Air Force in the Springs, and he's like, yeah, okay, so Ukraine and Russia are having this situation.
I got like crap like
Ukraine.
Iran.
Yeah. I mean, well, I got given Ukraine, the Ukrainian SSR, when they were in this middle of this turf war with Russia, and yeah, it was awesome.
And I get to be the Arab country.
Yeah. Well, ultimately, maybe he knew that there was a war coming there too.
Maybe.
Ginsburg was a phenomenal teacher. I love the guy.
He was a good guy. So, all right. Well, we never got to vampires, but we did.
Subject for another show.
Yeah.
But I will say what Jesse said. The good deed was done with no idea of it's going to come back to me.
Yeah, no
he didn't do it with any
expectation.
intentionality, like I'm doing a good deed so that I will get repaid later. Just like Noah didn't do the suggestion for.
Exactly.
When you do a good deed, you do it. And I think back, I don't think his good deed was going to get the tools in this movie and cutting him free, because he was literally kind of threatened at that point. The good deed was when he threw the life vest out to say, I'm going to try and help him. And I wonder, who Robert De Niro, just a minor actor, brilliant actor, small role.
Yeah, it was a very small role.
But this movie, it reminded me of, because it was a modern adaptation. You guys have discussed before the Romeo and Juliet modern adaptation.
Yes.
Same thing with this.
Yes.
Both really done about the same time, with the kind of 90s actors. Really a good one, because I had never read the book, I had never seen any movie, and it just flipped me upside down when it turned out to be the prisoner that was the benefactor all along. I was like, that is so cool. It was like a little, those movies like The Sixth Sense, where there's that little loop at the end. You're like, ooh, I had no idea.
Can we spoil that for everybody already? I see dead people.
Don't say anything.
Okay.
Some people haven't seen it.
I guess younger people. Yeah. All right. Anything else we want to say? Because we talked about who you are, Brian, right? What your brand is.
I got my brand. My
Family, friends, dad, husband, math, and sports.
Right. So we got those, and we got we went over the terrible dinner at the View House.
Wonderful dinner.
Wonderful dinner.
Service.
Terrible service.
Yeah.
Great view.
Great view.
Not a place I would ever take a date.
Not if you want good service.
Nah.
No. Yeah, that would.
If you're just going to go there and have some beers and you want to just lounge,
sit at the bar.
Yeah.
Where you can keep your server in sight.
Yeah. So that we covered that. We covered.
Babysit.
What else did we cover? We covered. This wonderful Scotch.
Glenlivet Enigma, the creamiest Scotch to date. For me.
After trying this one, I'm really curious to wonder what the alpha and the cipher and the code were like, because this is pretty bomb.
I don't have much to compare it to, so I'm going to agree.
You're going to. The heat for me in this comes at all of the right times. Now that it's had a chance to breathe, I take a sip and it coats my mouth with this creamy, not sweetness, just
creaminess.
Yeah.
Creaminess.
And then the
good
heat,
adjective.
Yeah.
Then the heat comes.
It's almost kind of like the custard or whatever you would get from the creme brulee.
Yes.
That kind of
thing. It's fantastic.
Not the crunchy top part, but the nice custard part underneath.
Now that you mention it, I taste that too.
Much better than the Glenmorangie. Noir.
That Nectar de Noir.
The Nectar Noir was great. This is even better.
Yeah, this is great. So far, I know no one got to see or listen to the last episode of episode 10.
Oh, yeah, I keep forgetting that. We had 4 scotches that night.
But, we did. We got to try 4 scotches from them. I would now rank this as my number 1.
Of the scotches we've had on this show, I fully agree. There are a couple more.
Price point, though, would kind of reflect that, too.
Absolutely.
One would hope. One would hope.
In this case, it does.
Yes.
Nice. I got to join for the best scotch ever.
Yeah.
So far. To date.
So far.
To date.
Until we find the previous 3.
Yeah.
Hey, next time, weather permitting, we're grilling.
Grilling, yes. And, that time we'll probably have to do all of the wireless
mics, but we got them. We ordered another receiver, 2 more transmitters, 2 more lapel mics.
So we got 2 more studio mics coming with stands, headphones, all that jazz. We got 2 more wireless mics coming with lapel mics and all that jazz coming. This has been a
expensive week.
Let's just say it's been a good hobby so far, and hopefully it will continue to be a very good venture.
Yes.
Well, and it's a great experience as a listener. I enjoy it.
We're glad to hear that.
We're glad you're not only a listener, but we're glad that you're here to join us.
And we know you got some time off this summer, so we are hoping, expecting you'll join us very frequently, if not every week.
Yeah,
absolutely. I wonder if we'll need more time with 3 of us, though. We have a lot to say.
It is called Scotch Out for a reason.
A lot of good banter. I love it. That's what I enjoy listening to, because it's when I'm not here, I'm here. I'm still here. It really is. I listen to you guys. I'm like, I'm just sitting right there next to you guys. I love it. It's a great concept.
Good.
Just three guys sitting around.
All right,
having
we
a good
did
time.
decide that we would like you to choose next week's dun dun dun
Smarter challenges.
I have to choose it right now on the spot.
Right now on the
That's
spot.
what we do. We don't really prep.
We don't think about it.
Well, we didn't get to vampires.
Yes.
So we kind of threw that out there. I don't know what type of challenge I could do involving vampires.
Research and have a reason that we have our best vampire movie.
Okay. So you got to choose your best
my
vampire
choice.
movie. You got to choose a
And back it
vampire
up.
movie, but you have to. We have to discover like the history behind, the true history behind
I like
the
it.
vampire legend. So we have to do a little bit of historical research on the legend of the vampire and why it is, mythological, whatever it is, why today it's
I can definitely go in the tinfoil hat theory with this.
Dude,
Do it.
I can also
Absolutely.
tell. I'm not going to go that far, but what
I'm not
gonna
sure
tell
if
you is,
YouTube would like it though.
until a minute ago, I was like, Blade is my favorite vampire movie.
Oh, we forgot to talk about that one.
No.
yeah, great. We didn't say we got okay. So smarter
There's so many,
challenge.
but now I'm going straight to Bram Stoker's Dracula.
How about we do a little bit of research about vampires or whatever, but we also come up with
Our top three?
A top three.
Yeah,
Top 3 vampire movies.
Top 3 vampire movies.
for each of
Love
us.
it. Done.
Next week.
Okay, so are you going to be since you're tossing this out here, are you
Yes,
going to be
I-
joining us next Monday?
Ooh,
Are you going to be around?
I think I might have to come back from camping to make sure I'm here. If
can do
not, we'll
sometimes.
have to table
2
that
weeks?
one.
We can do 2 weeks. That's the smarter challenge for 2 weeks.
You can do
But we'll
this
see.
one-
Hopefully, I could be here. I'm thinking
Okay.
because we got to be back. My son Jason has therapy for his knee on Tuesday,
Okay.
so I'm thinking we'll have to figure it out.
If it doesn't work out, don't pressure.
No pressure if it doesn't work out. It
just table that one, and so we'll have to come up with a secondary smarter challenge.
Okay, so secondary smarter challenge if you can't make it back,
Okay.
okay? And this would just be for Jesse and I or any listeners, even you if you want.
Okay, I
mean,
can participate.
Okay.
If you're back in time, this will be 2 weeks out
So
smarter challenge.
we were talking the other day, or actually right after dinner, I asked you how often you went to the gym this past week.
Yes.
You said once,
Yeah, it was a bad week.
and I didn't go at all. So let's make a smarter challenge to go at least to do something physical. So go to the gym or whatever at least 3 times this week.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
Can the gym be your basement gym?
Yes.
Okay.
Of course.
'Cause
Now-
I'm yeah.
Yeah.
How can you gauge this? Like, you could take 20,000 steps
Okay.
and you're there.
So
Because if
you-
that's the case, I've done it
if
every
you-
day this week by 10 a.m.
Yeah.
So, well, you said
I'm worth a
gym.
lot.
We said gym. So you are at 24-hour fitness. I am at 24-hour fitness. The app tracks when you go there.
Oh, snap!
Oh, snap.
I'm going to have to walk to Target and pass the 24-hour fitness 3 times.
I have an app for the YMCA that I go to.
Okay.
That shows when I go, so I can
Okay.
participate as well.
All right. So, yeah. So that would be a secondary. So if you are able to make it on Monday, that one goes out the table. We don't even have to talk about that. But if you don't, then we have that to fall back on.
So we're doing 2 things. We're strengthening our minds and our bodies over
That's
the next
right.
week or 2, even.
Yeah.
Yeah. You guys,
What a great program.
you guys
Yeah.
were
We got it all here.
we drink
Mind,
alcohol.
body, soul.
Yeah, so we enjoy some spirits. We've been actually talking about self-improvement for a while, anyways, and now looking at a little bit of physical
self-improvement.
self-improvement. So
That's right.
Sounds good.
all
All right. So, Noah, let's start to taper this off. What do you have to say to wrap it up?
Okay, so like always, first before I even start, like always, Brian, thank you very much for joining
Yes.
us. Thank you for listening to our show and liking our show. We
Love it.
greatly appreciate it.
Absolutely love it. Yeah, if people aren't watching, they need to.
Yeah. I don't know, I don't think I can express how much gratitude I have for you for just listening to our show every week and also for coming here and joining us. We are, with that though, for those of you who do listen or watch to us, or if you're just brand new, we are on, our videos are on Rumble and YouTube. Audio-wise, we are on Podbean, Google Podcast, Amazon Music Podcast, Audible Podcast, Spotify, and I believe I'm missing one now. I could be missing one. But that's pretty much everywhere we are. And we are soon to be on iTunes.
Nice.
So Apple Podcasts. So I'm in the process of working on that.
All right.
And I just want to say, for those who are listening to us, thank you for listening to us. We greatly appreciate it. If you're not a Patron member, please become a Patron member. We have memberships starting at as low as $1 a month. With that, we're going to use that money to do stuff like rent movie theaters so we can see like Top Gun 2 with all of our fans.
Yeah.
And other things too. So there are different levels, and we do have one level, like I said, we actually haven't gotten it produced yet, but soon we will, and we'll show it on the show. If you do a certain level, you'll get Jesse, why don't you talk about it? So here, I'm going to thank you guys for listening, and I'll say goodnight.
Basically, for that show, we will take that label and frame it and sign it and leave a message for you on it. With Noah wrapping this one up for that piece, I also want to say, hey, thank you for listening. Brian, thank you for being here. And with the Vampire Challenge, if you're making it back, when we do this challenge, just 2 days notice. That's what I want, is 2 days notice. Let me know. Since vampires are meat eaters, right?
Yes.
So tell me what your favorite meat is to grill on a regular old grill. Would that be steak, ribs, pork?
That's ribeye steak. You got to go ribeye steak.
Oh,
understand?
snap.
I'm the son of a butcher.
All right, so ribeye steak.
Son of a butcher.
All right, so ribeye steak. Give us 2 days notice, and when we're talking about this vampire movie selection, we'll eat some meat, because that's what
I will bring the
do.
steaks. How about
All
that?
Well, hot damn, we'll bring the scotch and everything else then.
And I would say those listening, just spread the word. I mean, it doesn't take much. I mean, just pop it in. I listen when I'm riding my bike. It's a good experience. Spread the word for sure.
It has been fun. And I meant what I said about my Smarter Challenge. Sometimes we do something and we don't do it with any purpose, intent for retribution. So it's one of those few times we do something truly altruistically. You didn't do that at that time thinking you would ever have this long-term benefit on my life, but you did. And so I sincerely appreciate that in so many ways. I can never repay you. I'm grateful to be doing this show with you, Brian. Thank you so much for joining us.
Hopefully you can be more of a mainstay.
Yeah. And with that, I'm going to pass it on to you.
There.
What do you want to wrap up with?
Yeah, you get to wrap up the final
closure. This has been Scotch Hour.
Yeah.
With Brian,
Jesse,
and Noah.
thank you guys for listening.
All right, that's a wrap. Cheers, guys.
We hope you enjoyed this evening's episode of Scotch Hour. If you did, please like, share, and subscribe. Also, if you have not done so already, please become a Patron member, with memberships starting as low as $1 a month. Thank you, and hopefully you have a wonderful evening.